Hello guys, once again welcome to Farming in Africa, also known as Semanhyia Farms. Today I want to share with you one of our biggest secret to the success of this farm. As a farmer, you have so many things that you juggle with each and every day, hitting you left and right. If you're a farmer, then you know what I'm talking about. Even a climatic change could result in a failure in your farm. We have successfully been raising goats for the past 5 years. And today I want to share one of the biggest success that I think every livestock farmer needs to know before and even during your livestock journey. So come along with me and let me talk to you more about what our successful journey has been. As a livestock farmer, you always want to start with the right genetic. So whether you're doing goats, whether you're doing sheep, whether you're doing cattle, what breed of cattle, goats, sheep are you starting with, right? There are so many various breeds that will determine the business you're into, whether it's being beef or dairy farming. So come along. So genetic plays a huge role in your livestock journey. Whilst after genetic, no matter what kind of genetic you have, they might have health implications depending on your climate or where you are. So you might have some things, viruses that you need to vaccinate against. You might have some bacteria that you have to use antibiotics to prevent. Then you might also have some parasites that you need to deworm to prevent. So these are some of the things you need to know in terms of health. Then secondly, your management. How are you cleaning, managing your farm, taking care of your animals? That is a key part. Then there is also the infrastructure bit. How are you building your farm to be able to make sure that the livestock experience is much more stress-free so that they can thrive in it? But the most important part that I want to talk to you guys about today is nutrition. And nutrition plays a huge role in it, because no matter the genetics you have and no matter how well or clean you keep your animals, they might end up not growing or yielding the results that you need in case you don't feed them well, right? And that's why I want to focus on feeding and the secret and what we have been doing here at our farm to be able to achieve success. So when it comes to feeding, livestock are ruminants. Ruminants require certain minerals and vitamins to be able to grow well and healthy. So a ruminant that is not being fed with the right minerals and vitamins builds a very weak immune system, just like we human beings. And when that happens, you turn up to result in a lot of challenges like, mortality rate going high, weak immune system bringing a lot of weakness to their body, because then when they are attacked by either bacteria or parasite, you lose them very easily because they are not well built. Your mamas cannot give you these beautiful babies that you're seeing if their immune system is weak or you're not feeding them with the right nutrients that they need. So how do you combine all these things? Most of you farmers are probably practicing random grazing, where your animals are going outside and feeding on anything that is out there. Yes, that is what we've done over the years, but where have that gotten us to? Have we seen weight gains or are we seeing weight losses? In the dry season, where some plants that they used to get in the rainy season are no more, how are they still faring? Are they losing weight or are they gaining weight, right? So these are some of the questions we ask ourselves when we start thinking about doing things the right way, right? So as a farmer, if you're serious and you want to really do it, well and get better results for your investment, then you want to make sure that your solution or what you're offering your animal has a long-lasting plan to be able to sustain your animals. When you come to our farm, we do 3 types of feeding. Number 1, we feed them with hay. Hay is basically a forage, whether you cut it from the Semanhyia grass that we have, or you cut it from alfalfa, or you're cutting it from napier grass. it is a dry grass which moisture content has been reduced. That is what is called hay. So if you cut a fresh grass, let me pick up one of the Semanhyia leaves. So if I pick this grass and I dry this grass for 3 days, and after 3 days, the moisture content reduces maybe about 70% and dry it out. And then I compress this and store it at a place where it doesn't get wet. This grass then becomes hay, and I can store it for so many years depending on how well I store this grass. And then I'll start feeding my goats with it. So if you look into our pen, this is where we keep our hay, right? So we'll feed them with hay. Our ruminants needs hay to scratch their intestines. They need it to help them drink more water. Mostly once the grass is also dry, you tend to have enough minerals coming up because you have suppressed the water content in this. So we feed them with hay, and then we also do have what we call the pelletized feed. So the pelletized feed is basically a way of incorporating all the micro minerals and macro minerals into one feed. So in other words, you can have this feed for your goats or sheep or cattle and not expose them to the natural weather for them to feed. So this feed contains, the grass, the forage. It also contains some grains like maize, soya beans, wheat bran, which all gives energy, fiber, some protein, and also the micro minerals, which is your phosphorus, calcium, copper, zinc, iodine, everything in this feed. Let me go into this pen. Dude, I'm not bringing it to you, I'm shooting a video, okay? Right, so we give them this in the morning. First thing when they wake up in the morning, we'll give them this. Okay, I'll give you small, but you got to behave yourself. And they love this food, right? They love it because it's rightly composed for these guys. And we don't just give it to them, we give them a specific amount each and every day so that they have the right amount they need for their growth. The purpose of us giving them this food is not to get them full, but to give them all the nutrients that they will require when they are out there grazing, right? So in case they find the nutrients they want out there, great. But in case they do not, when they come here, we make sure that this feed has all the necessary requirement for them to grow inside, right? Look at that goat. That goat is a West African dwarf, but look at how big it is at the moment. So this feed, I'm gonna put it in their crate and then come talk to you guys. Come on, papas. It's all right, you guys got to be gentle. I'm doing a video, I said. Right, so they don't like just this food because it's nutritious, but also because it tastes very good. And who doesn't like good food? So I'm gonna try, and yeah, that is when you try to feed them with something that they love so much. Okay, all right guys, now don't fight yourself. So yeah, that is the second meal that they get. So they get the hay, and then they get the pelletized food that has all the nutrients to make sure that we are covering all the nutritional values or nutritional components that these animals need. Then the third feed that we give them is the grazing yard. So you might have your own grazing yard, or you might have to open them to go and graze. But if you look out here, these young guys are there grazing, right? And in a day, they go there and they graze for about 2 hours every single day. So every single day, we allow them to go out there and graze for 2 hours. They do a rotational grazing. So this batch will go for 2 hours, come back in. Then the next batch will go for 2 hours and come back in, right? So here we hope for them to get fresh. They need vitamin E from this fresh food or fresh forage that they get. And then they are out at the exercising yard, at the pasture, to get vitamin D from the sun as well. And then through this, we are able to supplement them with all the other minerals that they are lacking. These are the 3 types of feed that we give to our animals. Of course, the composition of this becomes different depending on what stage they are and what condition that they are in that we are trying to treat, right? So if you're doing livestock, then you want to take care of your animal nutrition, especially when you confine them. You want to make sure that you're meeting up with all the requirements that they need to thrive in this environment. I hope this is helpful. If you have questions, go in the comment section, write them down and let me know. And I'll see you in the next video, hopefully with more educative video and answers to your questions. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.